Would you like to start a business for only $35? Well, friends from Winner's Circle would like to teach you how in just 3 simple steps. Step 1. Click on the link tgnpodcast.com/winners. Step 2. Join the Winner's Circle chat group. Step 3. Use their blueprint to earn your first $200. Click on the link in the description to start your very own business today.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Golden Nuggets podcast, and we still have Shamir Wahid.
Yes, hi. Welcome back, guys.
Amir, take it away.
Yeah, so Shamir, your experience in corporate banking, corporate finance, right? Can you share with our listeners how does one become much more attractive to banks to be able to give out loans to them?
Okay, so I guess one of the reasons why I got into the Singapore Malay Chamber is of course to develop this know-how.
Okay.
Right? How to position yourself to look good for the bank. So I think when I left banking, I started with serving individuals, right? So when I look at you, I know how to calculate your mortgage servicing ratio, total debt servicing ratio. I know how much home loan you can qualify for, whether it's for HDB or private property. And with at least 90 to 95% accuracy, that means the figure that I calculate for you is going to be close to the figure that when you submit officially to the bank. In fact, some of the bankers back then, I teach them how to submit the case also in order to get this certain loan amount.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was at that level already lah, right? Because some of them are junior, some of the bankers doing the home loan side. Now when you talk about business loans, it's a different set of criteria, right? I think for the most basic one is to have your credit bureau score in place dulu.
Right. Your individual score. Okay.
Because most people, they are the sole director, sole shareholder.
Yeah.
And maybe the company has been running for about a year, right? Minimum 1 year lah. Some banks require 2 years. Your filings are all done in place, properly done. Your accounts are done properly. Your P&L, balance sheet, and then it has to be profitable lah. If it's loss making, how am I going to lend you any money? Right. And then at the same time, your bank balances. Even if you are when I say profitable, ada dua type of profit. So you still need to understand what is gross profit, what is net profit, what is gross revenue, what is operating expense. So what is fixed expense? So all these things, all you still nak kena faham as a business owner, because the banks look at all these.
Okay.
Right. Then if your bank balances are low, below say $1,000 every month, how much can I lend you? I'm not confident that you'll be able to repay on a monthly basis. So these are some of the items that we look at lah. But sometimes, even though the company may not be so strong financially, but maybe the shareholder and director could be quite strong financially. And usually with such loans, we will take on a personal guarantee from the director or shareholder.
Right.
Because we know that the director or shareholder is worth this much. And when I talk about worth, don't like misunderstand me by thinking that just because I own $5 million landed property that I'm worth a lot. Sometimes on that $5 million property ada liability juga, and that liability can be 1 million. So maybe your net worth is only 1 million. But if I take into account all your other liabilities, it could be more than that. Then maybe you say, I got landed property $5 million, you also cannot lend me money. When you got no income, nothing gini, then how? So there's always complaint. So when you talk about business, there are different avenues to get money. So you have debt, which is what the banks are giving. You have the equity side of things. You give up your shares in exchange for money from whether your angel investors, VCs, private equity firms, and then after that you have those maybe a little bit of a hybrid in between. So you have a wide range of products or services that some people are offering. Even today now, you even have like digital banks being more aggressive to lend with very low criteria. But again, whether that business model is sustainable, because in the beginning, you aggressive, I want to get as many customers. But once the default rate start coming in, the people cannot pay, that's when they have to reassess balik lah. Whether they want to continue giving out money lah, loan lah, so easily
Okay, so if let's say someone just started a business, sole proprietor, let's say his personal credit score not so good, And at the beginning of the business, because it's tough, right?
Yeah.
You know, you're starting up, you're bootstrapping.
Yeah.
Every month you are, always going down to near zero. So how can this individual actually improve themselves to be able to, in perhaps 1-2 years, be able to get a loan?
Okay, so I will go back deeper actually. Why are they in that position? Because if it is thought of properly, yes, just do it. Right? Start up business, just whack only, right? But at the same time, there must be some thought process to it.
Okay.
Right? If you realize after 6 months that you are still like that, is there something wrong?
Yeah.
So you have to look at the business fundamentals dulu. Because now you have to understand you need to understand what is personal income and what is company income.
Correct.
So even though you're a sole prop, for example, sole prop opens a company account. It's one account under sole prop name. It's not under your name,
Yeah.
Some people use a sole prop account as your own personal bank account,
Correct.
which is not right lah.
Yeah.
You want to grow this baby. You want to grow the bank balances of this baby so that you become more credit worthy. At the same time, there's nothing wrong paying yourself a salary, right? So when you pay yourself a salary, then you need to record your income properly. And this happens usually between March to April period, which most people don't do properly. They want to under-declare because why? I don't want to pay tax.
Yeah.
But you don't want to pay tax, but then you complain you cannot get financing. Then whose fault is it? Yeah, so that's the way I see it lah, kan?
Okay.
So I'm more than happy to pay tax. I'm paying tax. So that's why the higher you get, the higher the higher income you get, the more the banks are more willing to lend you more money. And then at the same time, you must show lah. Now you make this much money, right? Let's say from your business, for example, you declare betul-betul, then you don't have a credit score, betul? The second part of it is to go and get a credit card, then just pay on time. You can spend on it and just pay on time, pay in full, jangan bayar minimum je lah. To show that it's an A, it was record an A on your credit bureau score. Then do it for 6 months. Then at the same time, if your business is doing well, then consider converting the sole prop to a private limited. Then that lends more credibility lah to your business.
Okay.
Step by step lah.
Okay. Yeah. And what if, let's say that this person, first year bootstrapping, every month almost zero, but then second year business start to pick up, and then revenue keeps coming in, much more profitable. Would it mean on the on the third year they will be able to qualify themselves to get a loan, or they need to have a longer runway to show that I'm profitable for 2 years?
So again, it depends on how the banker put up the case.
Okay.
Right? So yes, first year numbers may not be so good because we are at initial startup phase. But hey, look, my second year, I'm doing well. Why? Because I've been doing this activity so and so, and more monthly recurring revenue is coming in. It's pretty consistent. I see an uptrend. Then if there's 1 year track record, then there's a story to sell to the credit person approving the case.
Okay.
Then I got healthy bank balances, right? Because everything is cantik apa. This one revenue grow, profit grow, my bank balance healthy. At least every month I have 20k. I don't think, and my credit score, my personal capacity semua okay. My notice of assessment, I declare betul-betul I'm earning this much from the company. I don't see a reason why, unless there's some history that we're not aware of lah.
Okay. And the third question with regards to this whole thing, how to know what kind of loan or what's the quantum of loan that I'm able to get with what kind of revenue that I should have?
This one again depends on the case.
Okay.
So as a
like example,
so as a ballpark, you have 10k bank balances for the past 6 to 12 months. Right. So if you take 30% of it, that means about 3k. You can use towards debt servicing.
Okay.
So from this 3k, then you just simple calculation. I don't want to go too technical. You put 3 times 12, 36k times maybe 5 years, thereabout. So I put about 100k maybe, 100 to 150k, depends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm assuming the numbers are all in order.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of assumptions here.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means with let's say a 10k bank balance for a good 12 months, even though the revenue is not strong, it's not like maybe 30, 40, 50k a month, you can qualify for up to like 100k.
Potentially, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
So
interesting.
we must see the numbers, the pattern in greater detail. So different banks have different metrics. So they will input this into the Ramya system based on what you represent. Then they will give you a score. Then based on that score, maybe some banks might want to give you 30k only. Maybe some banks might want to be a bit more aggressive. I believe in this fella's business. I'm not so exposed to your business sector. So there are a few other parameters here to take note of.
Okay.
Right.
So I was doing more of this kind of work, consulting work during COVID especially.
Okay.
Because the bank financing or bank loan rates for business owners were cheap.
Yeah.
I never see before in my whole career as a banker.
I mean 1%, right?
Yeah, 1%.
You don't see. You don't.
1 to 2%.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I don't
Now
think I've ever seen
no
that.
more
Yeah.
Now it's all between 5 to 10% range, which is normal. 5 to 10% is normal. Yeah.
Until it gets cheaper again lah.
Yeah, of course.
But even if it gets cheaper again, I don't think it can go as low as 1% lah.
I don't think so.
That's
I
how
don't
it
think so.
was.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Unless war happens lah in our country, you know, like. Yeah, but
Maybe.
that's another story lah.
Black swan event.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. The reason why I'm asking these questions is because I'm always curious on what kind of loan a business owner can get and why I see some businesses, they can easily go bankrupt even though it looks like their business is going strong.
Yeah, like doing well, right?
Yeah, because if let's say you have a stable 10k and then you take a liability of 100k and you really cannot pay it off every single month, within a short time you can
close shop.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So again, sometimes based on today number, you can raise say 500,000 worth of financing. Doesn't matter the rate, right? But if your deployment strategy is too aggressive or not correct, or you get hit by market suddenly, whatever changes, then it doesn't become sustainable. So then whose fault is it? Is it the bank's fault for lending you money, or is it the business owner fault for not deploying the money carefully?
Am I right? Like what you are doing is like helping business owners to get approved, or do you do like appeals if let's say they disapprove? You have inside people to talk to, or
No lah, I mean you're still independent. I don't have that much influence to approve your case. If your case is teruk, I will straight up tell you it's teruk, right?
Okay.
I mean, not many people know even how to read the P&L properly, right?
That's the thing.
So, but I one glance, I say, son, ada
Tak
chance,
boleh.
tak ada chance.
Okay.
Son, no chance don't bother applying I tell you. No need also. I don't have to spend effort, you also don't have to spend effort. Then this one maybe ada 50-50 chance but I'm a bit too busy I don't want to do You find someone else to do
right.
So it really depends on case by case basis.
Okay.
So, I mean, in other words, you also need to have accounting knowledge.
I did have my degree is in accounts.
Okay. Yeah, so that means can become accountant.
I could, but I don't want to because I love the deal making aspect of the business more than the back end stuff.
Okay. Yeah, understand. Okay. So that is when you eventually start your own private consultancy firm lah.
Right? So again, it changes over time. When I first left banking, it was on the mortgage broking aspect. So I'm technically self-employed just that I earn my income through a few avenues. So of course loan advisory is one of them. And then whether it's individual or business owner. And then I do have my real estate side, which I still do until today I still do for the HDB and the private segment. But because I have this added knowledge, right? Sometimes I kind of win the deals over from other competitor agents because
Numbers.
Immediately I work out for you. Okay, Nazrin, you qualify for 500k HDB loan, 1 million private property loan. have you thought about what to buy?
Wow, interesting.
So then you'll be like, I don't know whether I want to go HDB or private Then so, by the way, I'm also a licensed real estate agent Now I'm gonna put on my agent hat. Then now you can get my opinion on what I think you should be doing. Then they'll be more open But of course, feel free to consult with any other property agent to find out their thoughts. And then after that, if you feel that I'm the best fit, then work with me because by that point of time, your payslip, your credit, semua I dah tahu tau. Another agent probably belum tahu lagi.
And they have to do all the research from scratch.
If the client is willing to reveal such information to the agent But when they approached me, they wanted mortgage advice, they wanted loan advice. And then business owners, I tell you, March, April, it's paling teruk for me. Because maybe their company has made certain amount of money and then they don't want to pay so much tax. So now they want to know permutations. Shamir, if I declare this much, how much tax do I need to pay and how much loan can I get?
Right. I mean, I have actually a client who actually was a tax consultant. Is it similar like what you're doing?
No, I don't do tax consulting. Of course, everything has qualifiers. I will say this is based, you see,
doing it smart way.
Yeah, so I always show this is what is on the website, IRAS tax calculator. You key in this figure, you get this figure right? Now, based on this figure, this is how much tax you need to pay. This is how much income you declare. This is how much loan you can get. Now, based on this amount of loan that you can get, these are the kind of properties that you can buy. Pathway A, pathway B, pathway C. And after that, they will ask me which pathway do I think that they should be doing.
I think Nazrin is the kind of guy in the office. Everything also called the tech guy.
Well, I mean,
I will qualify. That means I will tell, okay, but you want to verify my numbers. Please go ahead and talk to your tax consultant.
Because ultimately they know best the numbers, and I don't know. I don't know whether this is allowed to be shared, but it's something that got to do with grey areas that we can actually do to not evade tax, but to
Tax
do
reduction.
Something like that to in the business itself.
So as a business owner, you need to know the difference between tax evasion and tax planning.
Tax planning, and do it correctly by the law.
So it's either you pay corporate income tax or you pay personal income tax. So where you have to park the money now?
Where you put your expenses on, especially. So do it smartly, so that in the following years probably, and then come to Shamir, and then we can.
I mean, I used to do that business, but I've since so in the market, I'm known as that guy. You see, you want to find money, then find Shamir kind of thing. But I've embarked on a rebranding journey, and Hanafi was helpful through Reka Studios to help me develop my website. So I'm now rebranding towards being a real estate agent because I have been doing real estate deals above my work as a loan or fund financing consultant. At that point of time. So again, that led me to where I am today and how I'm able to engineer my move to where we are at here in Johor today. So I like, if I were to share my own personal property journey, I got my property, which was a BTO, in 2013. I exited that BTO, which was at Buangkok area, a 4-room BTO, in 2018. In 2018, the market back then was a no COV market. I mean, it was a slow market.
So buyer's market.
So, but I managed to sell my own property with COV in a no COV market, which was unheard of at that point of time. So of course you stage it up, make it nice, like showroom. I moved out. I rented. That time rent was very cheap. 2-bedder, close to 1,000 square foot you could get for like 2001, 2002. Sekarang jangan harap. Get it? Right. And then in 2018 itself, I bought a HDB under single name before the age of 35. My wife was the essential occupier. Even at that point in time when I was doing the deal, hey bro, you below 35, no? You sure you can do? You sure you can or not? Then I said, I already done all my checks. I can do it. I already done for some clients. So some of them are 28, 29.
Interesting.
Sekarang they are the owner of the HDB, and the wife is the essential occupier, which means by now around this time, semua dah hit MOP. After MOP, the wife is positioned to purchase a private property. So now my wife has no property to her name.
Correct.
I'm still saving up because I have
Plans
to buy her own property later on.
Right.
Yeah.
Most couples are. I mean, usually they buy in the fiance,
Together, yeah.
and then after that they kind of decouple something.
Okay,
like
so
that.
back then, I think even during 2017, 2018, if you were to buy a HDB together, you can still submit to HDB to say that you want to decouple. That means one of them step down to become the essential
occupier.
occupier. But after that, it became too much work for the government, I feel. Because so many people want to do that, right? So they put a stop and say you cannot do this anymore. So if you want to do this, can, but you need to sell your property and buy the next one under the correct structuring.
Must sell first lah.
And what I bought was a HDB jumbo flat in Woodlands.
Okay.
Right.
So I was bullish about what's going to happen in Woodlands, the whole transformation, the whole story. And true enough lah, what I did in 2018, 2019, sekarang you can start to see some of the changes.
Developments.
I bought my jumbo flat, 610,000, 1,007 square foot unit, ready to be subdivided into 4 room and 3 room.
Oh, you had a 4+3.
Yes, mine is a 4+3.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's about 900 now.
Close to
I think
900, 900 plus
Okay.
right now. And
Even
even
getting some ideas. I can see.
so over time, I have all the different floor plans, you know, from. And why I can say this today is because just in the past 1 month, there were articles in the Straits Times and the Business Times which talk about HDB dual key.
Yeah.
Partition it, right?
So they are doing it now. If let's say, I mean, I'm just speculating here. If really it is not allowed, then the article would have said so already.
Correct.
But I read the article didn't really specify that this is not allowed. As long as you are compliant. That means I stayed there, for 5 years. Only after 5 years then I move out. But within 5 years, actually you can sublet out. Just 2 bedrooms saja.
Correct. Yes.
Legally. But you must stay there lah. And these dual key jumbo flats were the opportunity I find at that point in time. That you can stay there on one side and you sublet out 2 bedrooms on your 3 room side. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm staying there. And if you set up correctly, then you are positioning the whole unit to be rented out upon MOP. And if your wife has the income capability and the age, you can go and pick up a private property for your own stay. And your HDB becomes your cash cow.
Right.
And this one hold for life.
Yes.
You don't think about selling the HDB, which is nothing wrong, because if you talk about it from a yield perspective, HDB gives the best yield.
Higher than privates.
Let's say 6 rooms, $1,000 on average, $6,000 divided by purchase price, that gives you about close to 10% yield. Sorry, I rattle off numbers very fast.
That's fine. I think we all understand, right?
Yeah, we understand.
It's okay because I mean, no matter how hard you try, also a 2-bedder apartment, private property, maybe at most can give you a 2 to 3%. And this is before any other expenses. So to me, HDB rentally always makes sense. That's why that's my next move.
So even if, let's say, my wife does the private property game, does the flipping every 4 or 5 years, until tak nak flip lagi lah kan. Then if you all want to patah balik to the HDB, that will always be your base.
Correct.
Yeah, you still have it.
You still have it. So that's why we are also willing to take on a little bit of a risk by shifting to Johor lah, and explore. And at the same time, my business strategy as a commercial real estate agent is because I find that that there is a new opportunity in attracting clients from Malaysia, Indonesia, Middle East or Brunei looking to invest in Singapore property, but not residential. This is the commercial segment which attracts no additional buyer stamp duty and no seller stamp duty. So these are the conservation shophouses, for example.
Right.
And then what are the nuances that you need to look at before you even think about buying a conserved shophouse? Some of them may not be aware that this asset class starts, this asset class is even available. So that's where but I mean
when you talk about shophouses, it's always about people worrying that you need to consider MSR rather than TDSR, right? Because that's the biggest concern most of the time, right?
For conservation shophouses,
because it's under HDB, right?
No.
Oh, it's not
conservation. Fully zoned commercial.
I didn't know about that.
There are some HDB shophouses, and that HDB shophouses, the lower floor is commercially zoned and the on top is residential. You have to pay tax, additional buyer's stamp duty on the residential component.
Part, right? Yeah.
But the residential component usually the value pun tak tinggi sangat. So maybe the value is what 300-400k for like a 3-room, say for example, dekat atas 700 square foot, right? And maybe they have to pay additional buyer's stamp duty on that 60%. These rich people, they are okay to pay because remaining lease maybe what 45-50 years they can hold forever. If it's like a business owner for own use, I don't pay rent. My business is stable for the next 40 to 50 years. Whatever the value may be at that point of time, it doesn't matter really to the business owner because I already made back multiple folds from my own business. And that's why even some companies which are at JTC type properties or older industrial properties with remaining lease 30 years max, they still commit to such purchases because it gives them that stability. I'm not at the landlord's mercy anymore. My business do well, my landlord is not going to increase my rent. I can stay put because if you amortize it over the 30 years, it makes sense for me to just commit to that purchase.
Okay.
So I rattled.
Interesting.
It's
those
very
places like
interesting.
Ubi Tech Park.
A few of those places.
The B1s.
That's where you have all these property investment groups start coming out and
I
start selling all these causes.
Yeah, correct.
I never mentioned any names.
Must bleep.
Dah kena bleep ni.
Must bleep because they never sponsor us also.
Well, okay, I understand. That's the realm that every business owner wants to own the place rather than renting in the mercy of the landlord, right? Because it's always a case whereby we are afraid, or not really afraid that landlord increase, especially in COVID times. Many businesses close because of the rent. So probably they can look up to you to see where they can go to even purchase. But then again, most of your what's it called, avatar or audience are people from overseas.
So for
looking in.
So when I work with Hanafi on this, so I was working on my own personal branding strategy of which type of target audience that I want to serve. I think that's the baseline of any business that wants to start. Right. So identifying that as a personal brand, but at the same time, I have this wealth of knowledge, right? There will be quite sayang if I don't share this with future realtors that want to come into the business, or even existing realtors with other agencies who are looking for a team leader. Which, for the longest time, actually, I've had clients who have already turned agents, and I kind of like rejected them. Some of them.
Understand.
It's okay. I'm sure you do well. Please join someone else. But I think this year, Alhamdulillah, I think after I completed my masters in real estate last year, I was invited into the Tunas leadership program by Mendaki to develop my leadership skills. So maybe Allah gives me a sign like, hey, look, you need to start building a team.
It's time to build your team.
So inshallah, I should be building my team. Soon I will make the announcement later on. Because you want to build a team, boleh, but at the end of the day, is what value do I bring the team, right? How do I empower you, equip you, so that you are ready to tackle and whatever questions that your client wants to ask later on, and then how you map out the roadmap for your client, and whether yours makes financial sense or not.
Interestingly, like, because I'm talking about our people, like the Malays, I don't really see commercial real estate agents. Most of them probably do the
HDB and the
private. It's fine, but probably with your insights, they can explore that side of things.
Yes,
right?
potentially.
Commercial side of things, and
so the HDB and the private segment, I still have to do personally. So I still have to do. I still got to pay my bills.
of course.
I still got to pay
That's
my
the
mortgage.
bread and butter lah.
That's my bread and butter. Kena buat. Satu bulan buat 2 case pun jadilah.
Close
Okay, janji close right. So I mean, and dah memang my nature is I like to close. My strength is in the beginning, which is the consulting part, structuring part, and the closing. In between, staging, viewing, bukan tak boleh buat, boleh buat. But just that penat lah ni, penat lah. Viewing, convincing the buyer to buy, presenting the unit, paperwork. So these are the least favourite things to do as a real estate agent. But of course there are certain parts which I am strong at So that's why you need help lah.
Right, interesting. If let's say a real estate agent who just pass, or probably want to look for a team leader like you, what would be the advice?
I mean,
or what would be your criteria?
what's my criteria?
And advice.
and advice.
Together.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, the first one is speak to as many people, because at the end of the day, it's quite a vibe thing. I joined when I first joined the industry. I was part of a Chinese group, okay, and he's one of the top leaders at Propnex right now.
Okay.
Right, and he's still there. He's still there. And when I talked to him, I told him, bro, just let me do my own thing, okay, and I'll bring in the numbers. Don't worry. So because I already have that drive that I want to bring in the numbers. I think my first year as a real estate agent, I was like clocking, and in a slow market, right, I was doing maybe above 120, 150,000 a year at that point of time lah. And it's just from the real estate business, and he was quite impressed. So like they have their own Hari Raya gathering, right? They have their own committee lah.
Yeah.
Then I'm the only Malay guy in his group. Hey bro, you better come down.
Because without you,
because I sponsor a table, no. Then you're the only Malay in my group. You never come down. I say, okay, I come down.
Yeah,
So all the award presentations semua I tak pergi.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, where are you? And I say, I cannot make it lah. I'm busy doing work. Then I left because from the dual key HDBs, that's where it went to the private dual keys.
Okay.
Then we were doing co-living on the private segment. I joined ERA for a while. Also another predominantly Chinese group.
Is it start with P?
No, it was with Grow division.
Okay.
Yeah, not the Malay group.
I mean, got one of the big group. It starts with P.
Preeminent, is it? Yeah. So, not that.
You don't want to mention because they never sponsor.
yeah, I must believe. No.
So I was with another division, but after I finished about to finish my master's program, that's when I was looking up on who are the Lao Chiao Conservation Shop House.
Okay.
Who out there.
Yeah.
I happened to find my current mentor, whose name is Richard Tan. He plays golf. Got something in common. And then
Do you play golf first, or do you know him then you play golf?
No, I played golf first.
Okay. I thought it was like a strategic move, you know.
No, just so happened that that he plays golf.
Can click automatic.
I can click with him, and he's with Propnex for like over 17 years.
Wow.
I mean, I owe a lot to him lah for all the knowledge in shophouse that I have today lah.
Okay.
Without him, I memang struggling lah in terms of shophouse. But he's kind enough to share whatever knowledge he has lah. So that's why we have a team right now lah.
Okay.
On the Propnex Shophouse Elites team that focuses on this segment.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we have come full circle from where you started to eventually where you are now. I think this final few minutes, we want to know a bit more about why you eventually moved to Malaysia.
Okay.
Yeah, you mentioned you have your jumbo that is also now a cash cow. Your wife also have a private property that is also bringing in extra income.
No, I haven't purchased under my wife's name yet.
Oh,
I'm looking to purchase.
Okay. But eventually that will be a source of revenue for you also, right? For your family.
Potentially,
Yeah.
Depending on what private property I buy.
Okay,
Yeah.
understand. Yeah, so why the move to Malaysia?
Okay, so I see Johor as a launch pad.
Okay.
And I think from a macro perspective, at that point in time when I moved was late last year when I made that decision. So I was looking at the rental market for Johor landed properties. And of course my family is getting a bit bigger. And I was also looking at the cost of living, the cost of education in an international school. And that's when I realized there was an opportunity. I guess throughout my career so far, it's all about spotting opportunities and trends.
Right.
Being a little bit ahead of the curve, not so far ahead that you get it wrong, but just slightly ahead. And I noticed that Sultan Johor was about to become Agong. I speculated. As a business, sometimes you got to speculate a little bit. Maybe Johor will see new investments coming in. So I want to park myself here so that I understand the ground a little bit better and where are the investment opportunities and hotspot. So at that point in time when I made my move, then that's when the RTS, the Johor SEZ, all the announcement, the revised MM2H over the past 9 months is like one after another.
Line up.
Right now, as a Singaporean on the ground, I've explored Johor. Sometimes people see that on Instagram, for example, I'm eating at some place. Actually, I'm not really just eating, you know. I'm observing the surrounding from a real estate. I'm putting on my real estate hat and understanding who are the people who come here to eat. Who are the businesses who are already here? Which businesses are not here? Are there any opportunity in Johor commercial real estate? Are there any opportunity in Johor residential real estate?
Okay.
If you want to buy here, where is a good buy? What to buy? Whether should you even be buying or not? That's why I rented first.
Okay.
But I'm also not sure, right? So my modus operandi is always see as many things as possible, and then after that decide where you're most comfortable in, and then commit to it lah. But the house in Johor which I saw was an opportunity also. It was just an exploring thing.
Okay.
Me and my wife go see a few properties, you know, as potential tenants. Sekali ternampak satu rumah. It was like unoccupied for the past 10 years.
Okay.
Owner just did it up, put in the aircon, put in the carpentry, the space size, how the sun rises up, where is it facing, all check a lot of boxes. So I just made an offer and I committed to the rental for the next 2 + 2 years.
Okay.
Wow.
I mean, my worst case scenario is I come back, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then cost wise, when I talk, I got a 4,000 square foot of land, landed properties, semi-D kind of concept. 4,000 built up. Okay, at 4,000 ringgit. So that costs about maybe 1,000 plus Sing per month, which is okay lah. I can sustain it. Right. And for the kids, international school, I was sending them to Montessori sort of childcare in Singapore, which I'm out of pocket at least $900 to $1,000 every month. A month per child in Singapore lah. Right. So I have two boys, two younger boys, which were still in the childcare. My eldest girl was already in primary school. Primary school fees negligible lah. Right. So these two, they were already like $1,800 to $2,000 every month. Right? Times 12, that's 24,000. Times 3 lah. I don't need times 3.5. Just times 3 lah. That's about 75,000 ringgit. Which is equivalent to 3 kids punya school education. About there lah. 3 kids punya school education in an international setting in Johor itself.
Okay.
Of course there are different range of international school. You have those like 100k per kid per child per year type of range, but this is more on the mid-tier type of international school fees range.
Okay.
And still IGC SE pathway. No PSLE. They have checkpoints. And then you do your O level, you do your A level, and then if you want to end up in a local university, which I'm all for, because I've gone through the rigors of local university, and I appreciate what I've learned during my 2 years at NUS, as recent as like last year, and I can see why it is one of the top universities in the world. So if they were to come back and pursue higher education in Singapore, inshallah I should be more than happy to support them lah. And if they need a house to stay, dah memang ada dah. So I don't have to worry about that lah. But through Johor itself, it gives me the opportunity to go KL quite easily, even go Melaka, meet new partners, new clients. I can fly into Indonesia quite easily from Senai Airport. If I want to go to Jakarta, if I want to get to Batam via Puteri Harbour, it is quite convenient. The cost is also not as expensive as in Singapore, but I still come into Singapore from time to time to do my
real estate
work, to meet up with my team, to go for training, to do my board meetings. So it's quite flexible lah in that sense. And of course there are new business opportunities which I am also exploring lah. It is a new form of lead gen, right? I've got a lot of people reaching out to me, Shamir, how do I restructure my property portfolio so that I can also stay in Johor? But it depends on individual circumstances and affordability.
Right.
What are you willing to tolerate? So Are you willing to give up certain things to experience new things?
Yeah, it's a trade-off.
Yeah.
Something that you want to do and don't want to do, and what do you want in the end goal.
Yeah.
Because I always believe that you going through that path is always a way to for people can follow through, can follow
So
your footsteps.
in a way, I kind of like trailblaze a little bit lah.
Yeah.
Then there are a lot of things to consider, right, before you come in here. Some of the things you need to look out for. But eventually, I think there will be like a small community. Like my wife already messaged me this morning that a group of them went out for a hike.
Wow.
Okay.
In JB.
In JB, yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
this morning, just 4 of them, right? While the kids were all at school. So you need to build that lah, that sense of community still.
Okay. Yeah,
People
that's
who
true.
like vibe with each other lah.
I mean, this is one last question from me. If let's say I'm someone who just have a normal job, because whatever you shared just now, it is based on people who are of the higher mid-income to the higher income people who go through your consultancy to whether it's asset progression or in terms of getting loans. But if I am someone who have a normal job, by profession I'm a nurse, it's not easy for me to get to the next income tier. It takes years, and even if I get promoted, maybe the income bump is like maybe $500 to $1,000 at most. So if for my kind of individual, what would your best advice be if let's say I want to really look into asset progression and getting a higher loan from the banks to be able to do this the path that you actually did lah.
So again, I think if you look back at Rich Dad Poor Dad punya ESBI punya
quadrant,
so you are now at the employee lah.
Yeah, correct.
So the employee mindset. So the first step is to transition into self-employed, which is what I did, right? I wouldn't even call myself a business owner today. I'm still self-employed, right? I'm looking to develop and move from self-employed to business owner lah. Yeah, sure, you can set up a company, private limited, straight away become business owner. But
Terminologies.
it's just sama je. But at the end of the day, moving that transition, if you can get comfortable with being self-employed, I think that's the first step. Because by being self-employed, then the income ceiling is no longer there for you.
Okay.
But you need to be able to transition from employee mindset to, because for as long as you work for someone else, there's only so much you can earn.
Yes.
You want that breakthrough, you can be self-employed. There are a lot of self-employed people out there also being able to asset progress. You don't really have to become a business owner. But eventually, if you make a lot as a self-employed person and you want to become a business owner, then you could do that transition lah. Then eventually you go into being an investor.
The last one.
If you tak boleh switch daripada employee to self-employed, then I think it'll be very tough for you to do anything. To do progression per se lah. Unless of course both of you are like really high up in terms of being an employee in the corporate life. That means both of you each earning 10k, holding some MNC director role, even civil servant role. Both of you like teachers. I mean
teachers also don't really earn much.
Depends on your ranking and how high you are lah. So it depends on your income range and your job stability. What are you willing to trade off for potentially greener pastures of higher income because that's the only way you can qualify for a bigger loan.
Yes,
and that's the only way that you can save up the down payment for a property. I mean, it doesn't matter like HDB ke private property lah. You still need to save up some money to buy that property itself.
Right. Wow. You see, like from the moment we start the podcast until now, we've covered the banking side of you, and then we touched on the real estate side of you. We covered also your journey living in Johor side of you. So I guess for our listeners, if you guys want to reach out to Shamir Wahid, it's the best person to actually speak with when it comes to whether you want what you want to do, what you want to reach, because every single, like Amir's scenario is different. Everyone has their own depends, and I would say it's best to just speak to you. probably seek out consultation, where can people reach you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm more active on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Right. So that's the platform that I'm most focused on. So you can reach me through that platform. Okay. Then I will reply the DM. Then we can connect through there.
Nice.
This episode so interesting. We went from sitting all the way leaning back.
Yeah, I was like this, and then like this. So
Yeah.
it was
Okay. Okay. With that being said, if you guys want to learn more about Shamir and his journey in Johor, you guys can tune in to the Financial Coconut.
Yes.
Shout out to Reggie, right, for hosting the episode, and that's where he goes in all deeper and in detail.
Talking about insurance and stuff like that. So it's like, it's good.
Yeah, so interesting.
Yeah, catch their episode.
Yeah. Anything else from you?
Nope. All good.
Okay, with that being said, we'd like to thank Shamir for coming down to our not our Airbnb. not sponsored, but to our Airbnb today to be in this podcast to share with you guys all the golden nuggets. And with that being said, thank you for tuning in. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.
Thanks for having
Take
me.
care.